Hey, what's up guys? Today I am going to demonstrate for you how to hack a browser using the Browser Exploitation Framework, or BEEF for short. Now, you'll want to use this on a Linux machine. It can be installed in Windows, however, it requires a lot of additional installs like Ruby and SQLite, and even then it's not guaranteed to work. And it is pre-installed on Kali Linux. So if you aren't using Kali Linux, and you need to install it manually, just do an apt install BEEF, and there you go. Once you install it, it's going to be in your system services, and you hit BEEF start. And this is a brand new installation of BEEF, so bear with me. We're going to set our password, and now it's starting up the service, and it's going to redirect us to the control panel browser. Refresh that, and again. Alright. Default username is BEEF. Password you set, and here we go. Here's the start of your BEEF control panel. Now what BEEF does is it generates a URL that is a JavaScript hook. BEEF is listening on your port 3000, and once the browser is hooked, you can execute any number of exploits against it. So you've got a basic demo page here, and an advanced version here. We'll use the advanced version. It's a little bit funnier to look at while we're doing this. So what you do, copy the link location. Now, in this test environment that I've set up, I have my Linux virtual machine actually on my network to be able to talk to my host, which is me, so that we can see what's going on. So imagine that this is like somebody has connected to your network. Of course, you can use BEEF remotely. You would have to point this link to, say, your external IP and forward your port 3000. So let's go email ourselves our hook link. That's me. Now this is your social engineering aspect where you're going to want them to want to click on it. So let's give it an exciting subject. Honestly, not my most exciting email, but that's not the point. You get it. Generally speaking, anybody who is doing this for real would want to have something a little bit more elaborate, something more eye-catching that people are going to want to click on. Now we insert our hook URL. Now by default, this is pointed to the local host. However, we want to point this to our NAT network address. So let's find out what that is. (192.168.1.21). Let's change our URL to that. And of course, that's what we don't want to display as the link, because no one's going to click on that. Sounds exciting. Let's send off our hook. And there we go. Our target has received it. What happens? Well, take a look at our control panel. Once the target clicks on it, they're at your demo site. Now, this can be changed. You can perhaps make your own custom HTML website. Doesn't matter. And now we see that the browser is hooked, and we see it online. And even when you're just rolling over it, you can see that you can tell they're using Chrome. The OS is Windows 10. Once you click on it, there's this Details tab, which shows you a little bit more information. Browser date stamp, the encoding. You can even look at what their GPU is. The Logs tab is going to show you a detailed log of literally everything that happens once the browser is hooked. If it loses focus, if they click on something, if you execute a command against it. The proxy and XSS raise tabs we're not really going to get into. They're a little bit more advanced than what's necessary for this demo. The network tab, if you successfully run a ping sweep or any of the other network mapping commands, that'll show up on this network tab over here. Now, what's really the meat and potatoes of BEEF is this commands tab. And this is where you're going to find all the modules and the various exploits that you can execute once a browser is hooked. So let's take a look at those now. One of the first ones that I think is slightly underrated when it comes to threat analysis is the get geolocation. And I say that because this one in particular is extremely precise and can give away a lot of information that could be detrimental to people who are undergoing harassment, cyber stalking, swatting, could even potentially be information that burglars would want or something. So let's see exactly how precise this can get. And it does exactly what it says on the tin. This module retrieves the physical location of the hooked browser. But you'd be surprised how exact it can get. And in my experiments, I've noticed that this second one gives the most accurate information. Let's give it a try on this browser now. And as you can see, the results of the command come up in this window here, and then the details for it. What do we got? We can see my external IP address, my internet provider, the city, the zip code, the country, and this one even gives us very detailed longitude and latitude. And just for funsies, let's check out exactly how precise this is. Put the longitude and latitude into Google Maps. Let's see exactly how this is. Oops. All right, so there's the general vicinity. There's exactly where that longitude and latitude is. And as you can see, that's my house. So while it's not exact, it is close enough to give somebody a very, very tight radius of exactly where that browser is located. Again, could cause trouble for somebody who is in danger of being harassed or cyberstalked. Let's check out another one that can have a lot of ramifications, and that's in the social engineering tab, and it's the Google phishing. As I'm sure you're aware, Google logins are used not just to log into your Gmail or your Google account, but they can be linked everywhere. You can get people's bank information, shopping information, various other personal data that definitely don't want out there. Let's see how this one works. Now, once you hit the execute tab or button, this will force the window into showing this fake Gmail login. And a lot of times somebody is going to have clicked on this link from their email and maybe just assume that, hey, they lost the connection to their Gmail or there was a hiccup with their internet. So all they're going to do is log in again. Now what happens when they enter that information? Well, they're not going anywhere, but we have some interesting data, including their username and password. And again, that's something that can be used in many, many places aside from Gmail. So that's about it for this demonstration. I urge you to go ahead and install Beef on your own virtual boxes or on your Linux machines and play around with it. See what you can get to work. See how much information you can glean from one simple application. Thanks for listening.